Hey everybody, I am Letitia Aarons. Today I really just want to touch base on negative self-talk. Well, first of all, what the heck is self-talk? Self-talk is actually what our brains do to process the daily things that happen to us, our daily experiences. And sometimes this self-talk can come off a little bit negative. That is our brains trying to protect us from the shame, trying to protect us from the fear, trying to protect us from the failure of if something doesn't work out in our favor. However, sometimes that really hinders us, and depending on what the negative self-talk is, it can actually really take its emotional toll on us. I know it did for me when about 2 years ago, I was in the depths of my depression. I was always thinking that people were judging me. I was so worried about the me that I was putting out to the rest of the world that I didn't even know who I was anymore. And I'm sure that so many of you can relate to this because we all do it, right? We all have that inner critic that we just want to punch in the face sometimes because it says that you're not beautiful, you're not a good enough parent, it says you're not smart enough, it says you're not capable, it says they don't like you, and you care. You care about what those thoughts say because they're yours. And the best way that I've found to help myself get out of feeling that way is to actually think of my inner critic as being a separate entity from myself. And so there's me, and there's my brain, and there's what I can control, and then there's my inner critic. And most of the time, that inner critic is negative, right? It's doubting you, it's doubting everything that you're doing. But I don't feel that way necessarily. Because sometimes I do feel good, or I wake up and I'm like, I feel good today. But then my inner critic comes out and they're like, girlfriend, you look fat in that outfit. And then all day long, all I can think about is like, is my butt crack hanging out of my pants? Does he think I'm fat? She looks so much cuter. Maybe I should just put a sweater on today. And then it just goes downhill from there. You feel me? You feel me? And those are just some of the effects that we get from it. And then you wonder, when we walk around and we think this way 90 to 95% of the time, you wonder why we have depression. You wonder why we have anxiety. Well, hello, it's because we're sitting there being our own worst bully, but it's not necessarily you. You are not necessarily responsible for the initial thought. The initial thought is habit. That is what is formed through all of your experiences, how your family brought you up, the environment that you put yourself in. That's not necessarily your thoughts. So when you have that initial first thought, I just want to challenge you. I give some steps below to help you think, okay, I'm having these negative thoughts. How in the world do we get past them? You can read more about it, but basically I talk about this step system where, hey, you got to recognize it. You got to acknowledge that you are thinking these things. You have to challenge these ideas and find proof that those thoughts are not true. Because when you think negative thoughts, you go into self-confirming bias mode. You're going to start looking for proof as to why that thought is true. I tend to get really insecure about being stupid, being the stupid one in the room. And do I think I'm stupid? Absolutely not. Like, I wouldn't have graduated from college. I wouldn't be starting this blog or this vlog. I wouldn't be doing any of the things that I've done up until this point if I was a stupid person. If I believe that I am the most stupid person in the room, all of a sudden, I start to trip over my words. I start to forget my train of thought. I forget people's names. I have trained my brain now to fit the role of being the most stupid person in the room. When in reality, that's not true. I have just convinced myself that I am the most stupid person in the room. You see how quickly this can become really, really dangerous to our emotions? The thoughts that we have, we create these emotions about them. And then because of these emotions that we have, it causes us to act in a certain way. So when you act frustrated in a situation, it's because of the emotion that you feel towards it, because of the thoughts that you are putting into it. And that is what we need to change. That is what we need to work on, is those initial thoughts. If you're letting yourself give in to your brain, into your thoughts, into your evil, evil little inner critic, then it's going to control your life, your relationship, everything around you. If you really want to start working on a bigger goal, this is the thing that you have to change first. Let me ask you something. How many times have you quit your health and fitness journey? How many times have you quit? I just want you to think about that for a second. How many times have you given up on a business opportunity that you wanted to pursue? How many times have you thought that you wanted a new job, but then were scared because you thought about all the negative things that would happen? So you didn't take those steps. And that's why it's so important for us to take those initial steps to work on building long-lasting, healthy habits and to build a long-lasting, healthy mindset. Because if you can build a long-lasting, healthy mindset, then you are so much more capable than you give yourself credit for. If you're telling yourself that you are not something, then you're right. You're right. You're not that thing, and you never will be that thing, because you already told yourself that you're not. But if you can start giving yourself more statements like, I am, it's going to get you a lot farther in that journey. You're going to be able to be more consistent, and you're going to see more results. So when it comes to negative self-talk, I want to squash it right now. This is something that we have to battle every single day. I don't want you to think that it's easy for someone else. Hell, I just told you that 2 years ago is when I was in the depths of my depression. I woke up one day and realized I don't want to live this way anymore. I don't want to think this way anymore. I feel miserable every single day, and I just don't want to do that anymore. It's time to get some help. It's time to pick myself up and help myself a little bit. It's time to start thinking about the things that are going to help me, because it's not just me it's affecting anymore. It's affecting my husband, who was my fiance at the time. It's affecting my family, everything around me. And I don't know about you, but I did not grow up with the best childhood. So for me to come into my adulthood with a negative mindset and to continue to destroy my own life, I don't want that. I want a happy life. I want the life that I was meant to live. I want to live a life of abundance, and I want to live a life where I believe that I'm capable, because I know that I am, and I know that you are too. Please feel free to continue and read the post below. It talks about a few more things that we didn't go over today. And honestly, I had to cut this as short as I could. There is so much more to go over on mindset. So please be prepared. I'm going to start doing something like this weekly. I hope that you like what you heard today, and I look forward to getting to know you and your journey, and I want to hear what you struggle with, because I'm going to be on here being real with you. I'm not going to pretend like I have all the answers. This is me figuring it out with you. I invite you to come along on this journey with me, grow with me into the person that you're meant to become too. At the very end of the blog post, I'm going to leave you with a little free resource about some different tips and tricks that I have tried over the past couple years, things that have worked for me, things that haven't, because we're human, we're so unique. We all have things that are going to help us, or it's not going to help us, right? Thank you so much for being here on my first Mental Monday. I look forward to putting out more blog content for you guys weekly. At this point, I am planning to try and push out blog content 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I'm so excited to see where we can take this together. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and send me an email, or to send me a message on Facebook. I have social links all over the place. My email address is at the footer of my website. So please reach out if you have any questions, or you'd just like to connect a little bit more. That's everything I have for you guys today. So let's do this. Talk to you soon, guys.